In the previous video, we have discussed Section 1 and 2 of the Transfer of Property Act. Section 3 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882 contains definition of certain terms which are used in the latter part of this act. Thus, Section 3 contains 7 definitions. Thus, the opening line of Section 3 states that in this act, unless there is something repugnant in the subject or context, which means that if there is any regression in the topic or context in this act, the following definition should be interpreted accordingly. Now let us come to the definition as provided in Section 3 of the Transfer of Property Act. Immovable property. Immovable property is defined at least in 3 Indian enactments: the General Clause Act, the Registration Act, and the Transfer of Property Act. According to the definition of the Transfer of Property Act, immovable property does not include standing timber, growing crop, or grass. Under the definition of the General Clause Act, immovable property shall include land, benefit to arise out of land, and things attached to the earth. Section 3 of the Registration Act describes what is meant by attached to the earth. To it, number A, rooted in the earth as in the case of trees and shrubs, embedded in the earth as in the case of walls or building, or number C, attached to what is so embedded for the permanent beneficial enjoyment of that to which it is attached. Thus, combining the 3 sections above, immovable property means number 1, land. Land, considered in its legal aspect, land includes the following element. Number A determinate portion of the earth's surface. Number B, possibly the column of space above the surface. Number C, the ground beneath the surface. Number D, all objects which are on or under the surface in its natural state, for example minerals. Number E, all objects placed by human agency on or under the surface, with the intention of permanent annexation. Number 2, benefits to arise out of land. Apart from the property being immovable from the physical point of view, every benefit arising out of it and every interest in such property is also regarded as immovable property. Standing timber, growing crops and grass are regarded as severable from the land on which they stand, and therefore they are not included in the term immovable property. If, however, they and the land on which they stand is sold, such standing timber, growing crops will pass to the purchaser. The words standing timber include the bubble tree, sisam, neem, peepal, banyan, teak, bamboo, etc. Instrument. Instrument under the Transfer of Property Act simply means a non-testamentary instrument. Thus, a non-testamentary instrument means a document or instrument which is not a will. Because the Transfer of Property Act applies only to transfers between living persons only, so a will has no application in the Transfer of Property Act. Attested. The term attested is defined in Section 3 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882. The term attested means that a person has signed the document by way of testimony of the fact that he saw it executed. The essential conditions of attestation are: number 1, there must be 2 attesting witnesses. Number 2, each must have seen the executant sign or affix his thumb mark to the instrument. Number 3, each of the 2 attesting witnesses must have signed the instrument in the presence of the executant. The following are the essential ingredients of a valid attestation. Number 1, there must be 2 or more witnesses in all cases where a document required by the Act is to be attested. Number 2, each witness must, number A, see that the executant has signed or affixed his mark, or number B, C. Some other person signed the instrument in the presence or under the direction of the executant. Or number C. Received from the executant a personal acknowledgement of his signature or mark or the signature of such other person. Number 3. Each witness must sign the instrument in the presence of the executant. If a document is not validly attested as required by this section, it is ineffective. For example, under Section 59 of the Transfer of Property Act, if the mortgage deed is not duly attested, it cannot be enforced in a court of law. Registered. Registered means registered in any part of the territories to which this act extends under the law for the time being in force, regulating the registration of documents. A document cannot be said to have been duly registered if the registration has been made in contravention of the provisions of the Registration Act. For example, if the description of the property given in the document is insufficient or misleading, or if the document has been registered by an officer of another district in which the property is not situated, the registration is inoperative. Attest to art. The term attest to art in Section 3 of the Transfer of Property Act means number A. Rooted in the art, as in the case of trees and shrubs, or number B. Embedded in the art, as in the case of walls and buildings, or number C. Attest to what is so embedded for the permanent beneficial enjoyment of that to which it is so attest. Actionable claim. Section 3 of the Transfer of Property defines actionable claim to be claim of number 1. To any debt other than a debt secured by mortgage of immovable property or by hypothecation or pledge of movable property. Number 2. To any beneficial interest in immovable property not in possession either actual or constructive of the claimant. Or number 3. Which the civil court recognized as affording ground for relief whether such debt or beneficial interest be existing, acquiring, conditional or contingent. Some instances of actionable claim are number A. The right to claim benefit of a contract for the purchase of a good. Number B. A claim to money under an insurance policy. Number C. A share in partnership. Number D. A claim for arrears of rent. Number E. A claim for return of earnest money. Instances of claim which are not actionable. Number A. A debt is an actionable claim, but a debt which has passed into a decree is not an actionable claim. Number B. The right to recover damage for breach of contract. Number C. A claim to masonry profit. Number D. A copyright. Notice. A person is said to have notice of a fact when he actually knows the fact, or when, but for willful abstention from an enquiry or search which he ought to have made, or gross negligence, he would have known it. The Transfer of Property Act 1882 contemplates three kinds of notice, namely actual notice, constructive notice, notice to agent. Direct notice or actual notice. Direct notice of fact is when a person or his agent actually knows the fact. Constructive notice. Constructive notice have been roughly defined as knowledge which the court imputes to a person from the circumstance of the case upon a legal presumption so strong that it cannot be allowed to be rebutted that the knowledge must have been obtained. Under Section 3 of the Transfer of Property Act, following presumption arises. Number A. When, but for willful abstention from an enquiry or search which he ought to have been made, he would have known it. Number B. When, but for gross negligence, he would have known it. Number C. When a document compulsorily registerable is not registered. Explanation 1 of Section 3. Number D. when actual possession is given. Explanation 2 of section 3. Thus, Section 3 of the Transfer of Property Act refers 5 classes of constructive notice. Number 1. Notice imputed to person by reason of willful abstention from enquiry. Number 2. Notice imputed to person by reason of gross negligence. Number 3. Notice by registration of instrument. Number 4. Notice by possession of immovable property. Number 5. Notice to agent. Notice to agent. The general principle of the agency law is that an agent stands in the place of the principal for the purpose of the business in hand. His act and knowledge is being considered as the act and knowledge of the principal. But there are certain limitations to this general principle. The notice should have been received by the agent. Number 1, as an agent. Number 2, during the agency. Number 3, in the course of agency business. Number 4, in a matter material to agency business. The knowledge of an agent will not be imputed to his principal if the agent fraudulently conceals the fact. Under Section 4 of the Transfer of Property Act, the chapters and section of this Act which relates to contract shall be taken as a part of the Indian Contract Act 1872. And Section 54, paragraph 2 and 3, Section 59, Section 107 and Section 123 shall be read as supplemental to the Indian Registration Act. Thus, the chapters and the sections of this Act which are related to contract will be taken as a part of the Indian Contract Act 1872. And Section 54, paragraph 2 and 3, Section 59, Section 107 and Section 123 will be read as a supplement to the Indian Registration Act. Thus, we have covered the interpretation clause as enunciated by Section 3 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882. Hope you all have understood the definition as contained in Section 3 of the Act. In the next video, we are going to deal with another topic, so stay tuned. If you have any doubt, you can comment me on the comment section. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.